This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck. It's a 2002 Ford F250. It is a crew cab. It is a short bed. It's a 7.3 turbo diesel. It's four-wheel drive. It's a Lariat, which is leather. The odometer shows 267,000 actual miles. The motor that we put in it has 148,000 miles, which is confirmed by Carfax. I'll show you all this stuff in a minute. It was a dealer trade-in to a Kia dealer in Phoenix. We bought it from them, brought it here, thought it was an injector. Turned out it had bad compression in one cylinder. Easier to put a motor in it. So we bought a motor from Best Salvage here in Tucson. Ran a Carfax on the truck that it came from, had 148,000 miles on it, did a compression check on the motor, and the motor was perfect. Has a minor amount of blow-by, actually it's actually pretty low for 148,000 miles, 7.3. I will show you that also, but it runs great. It runs and drives great. Good motor. I'll show you all the stuff we have for it. When we get them here, we do an inspection. This is what it looks like. All right. I got my little cheat sheets over here. I got to write it in hand for some reason. I'm kind of OCD like that. It's got a used 148,000 mile motor. So the motor's 120,000 miles less than's on the truck. When we did that motor, we also gave it a new water pump and thermostat, a new air conditioning compressor, AC manifold line. We did obviously a Rotella oil and filter, which is good oil and filter. Fuel filter, air filter, 2 batteries, right rear axle seal, steering shocks, and hood struts. These are from my mechanics. Used motor installed. Carfax confirms motor miles. Excellent compression. Has manual rear air suspension. Michelin's are 50% plus. They also told me that there's on the inside pillar post, there's gauges that someone put on it. The boost gauge is disconnected, basically because we put the motor in. We're not going to deal with those stupid gauges. We almost just took it off and put another piece in there. It's also got the typical Ford peeling paint issue. It's got that. Yeah, it's got a big one on the door. And by the way, if you put touch-up paint on it, it makes the paint peel worse. So you really have to just strip it and paint the whole thing if you want to do it. Which I wouldn't recommend, because other parts of the truck will start doing it. You're not buying this truck for the beauty element, you're buying it for the 7.3, and now it's a relatively low mile 7.3. Okay, we are professionals in this situation, and we know exactly what's going to happen when you put touch-up paint on those, and it just gets underneath the old paint and starts peeling up around it, and it looks like crap. So don't do it. If you're not okay with the paint, you shouldn't be buying a 140,000 mile, 200,000, whatever, truck anyway, because you should be buying something brand new. Anyway, let me show you something real quick here. There's the VIN from the motor right here, okay? And this is the used motor Carfax. This is what the motor is. It's in it right now. I'll cut to the chase here real quick. It was a very well maintained motor until they wrecked it, and now that wrecked truck's motor is in. It was serviced at 140,000 miles, and then 9 months later, it's totaled. So between 140, they put 8,000 miles more on it, wrecked it, and now that motor is in our truck. Okay. We like to give you as much information as possible. That way you can make a really good decision, and you know what's going on. I mean, it would be real easy for us not to tell you anything. Tell you it's the original motor and blah, blah, blah. That is not the way we roll. Like I said, it does have rear air suspension, manual air suspension. I forgot to show you where the plug is, where the filler is. Fillers are right here on each side, okay? Michelin's probably 50% tread, somewhere around there. A couple little dings here. But the big peel is right there. Isn't that nice how that does that? Like I said, if you put touch-up paint in there, it gets underneath and it'll start peeling up and it looks worse. I mean, the only way to fix that correctly is to strip that whole door and paint it, okay? Just telling people, I've seen people actually try to fix that, and it's a mistake to do that, unless you're gonna do it the whole way. All right, let's see. Truck shows 267,286 miles. There's your gauges. We just got done driving it. Like I said, this one's disconnected. It's not connected at all because we changed the motor. Kelley Blue Book on this truck with that many miles is 13,440. Kelley Blue Book with that many miles on the motor is 15,119. So the motor helps quite a bit, okay? Carfax for the truck. There's your VIN, Carfax. I'm not sure why it had a bad motor, because they really took good care of it. I guess that someone must have, I don't know, I suspect that somebody did something really stupid, because these things are hard to break. I mean, they'll get blow by, they'll do everything, but they don't break. And this thing was really, really well taken care of. So I'm guessing maybe they got some bad fuel at some point. And look at this thing. I mean, that's just great maintenance, which is why I bought it. And then we get it here and find out that it's got a bad motor. Look at this. I mean, it's excellent, excellent maintenance. Boom, boom, boom. All the way down. And now it's ours. Anyway, let's see. And it came from Mark Kia in Scottsdale. And now it's Wheel Kinetics, okay? All right, let me open up the hood. I'll show you the blow-by, which I know is about, on a 1 to 10, with 10 being horrific, it's about a 3 for a 150,000 mile motor. Pretty good. I don't even know if you can see that or not. Actually, it might even be better than a 3. It might be. Might be a 1 or a 2. There's your Ford stamp there, new battery here, Ford stamp there, obviously new coolant, all the fluids are new because we did the motor. Ford stamp here, Ford stamp there. There you go. This will be interesting to see who figures out to buy this truck. You know, when we put them online, the ad just says 267,000 miles, and they'll see the price, they'll think it's a little too high, and then the person who actually watches the video and sees the ad will say, oh, we have a 140,000 mile motor, and it's a good looking truck. Aside from those paint peeling things, it's a great looking truck. See back, forward. So this will be one of those sleepers that someone will buy because they actually went through the whole ad and paid attention. A lot of people will just go right by it because they'll see 267. But the internet's a funny thing. There's so many people who will see this truck. Lariat 7.3s get huge attention. There's your wheel lock keys, a manual. You got the weather guard mats. This is a nice truck. Really nice truck. I would bet that this truck got into some bad fuel or went down to Nogales or something. It's just too clean to have a bad motor because it was too well maintained. That guy was bummed. Alright. Mirrors. Down. Other side. Let's see. Out. That's in. Up. Down. Out. There you go. Alright. Forward. Back. Up. Down. Tilt up. Down. Tilt up. Down. Perfect. Alright. We did do inserts on the outside of both of these seats. That's a new piece, and the outside of the passenger seat's new. Seats look like they're in pretty good shape. Actually, they're in really good shape. Usually these things will break down. Whoever owned this car before took great care of it up until whatever disaster befell it, which is probably why he traded it in. And the guys at Kia probably didn't know enough to know what was going on, because when it came in here, it actually ran okay. And then we go through our inspection and find out what we found out. We initially thought it was going to be an injector, and then we just follow the path that it takes us on, and we find out it's a motor. And most people would say, why are you telling people this? Well, because That's our job. We have to tell people what's going on. That way our business model survives the test of time, right? All right, now, there's your overdrive on and off, radio. 6-disc changer. Air is blowing ice cold, which it needs to because it's freaking hot. Let's see, what else we got here? We have cruise control. Turn that down so you can hear me. This weird phone mount here. We need to make that go away. Obviously, that's not going to work on anyone's phone in the 2000s. Let's see. Let me put it into neutral. Let me put it into 4 low. Now we're in 4 low. Drive. Wow, that is definitely 4 low. Reverse in 4 low. That's definitely 4 low. All right, now we're gonna go to 4 high. Now we're in 4 high. That shifter is really easy to move. Some of them can be a hassle. This one is really smooth. And reverse in 4 high. Boom, perfect. All right, now we're gonna go back to 2 high. Boy, I love when they work like that. You don't have to fish around for stuff. It's beautiful. All right. All right, if you come to Tucson and drive it home, which you're welcome to do, you got a nice set of tires, it's a hell of a truck, you're going to pay tax and dock fees. Dock fee is $250, tax is 2% city sales tax here in Tucson, plus whatever your state tax rate is. So if your state tax rate is 4%, you'll pay 6. If it's 9, you'll pay 11. If it's 47, you'll pay 49. Just add 2% to your state tax, and then add a $250 dock fee, and you'll know what you're paying if you come here to drive it home. If you pay by wire and ship, all you're going to pay is the agreed upon price, and that's it. Don't add anything. Once we receive your wire, we will fill out the title with your name or your company's name and address. We'll notarize it, sign it off to you, scan it into your online file so you'll be able to see it online immediately. We'll even scan in the envelope that we mail it in. Okay. So you'll be able to see everything. Then we'll mail it to you. You'll have the truck shipped to you. You already have the title most likely before the truck gets there. And then you just go to Motor Vehicles yourself and go get plates. It's very simple. The whole process is extremely simple either way. What else? Deposit's $500. Once we receive your deposit, we have a deal. Until then, it's for sale. Please make sure that you get your deposit in quickly. There are going to be people who actually pay attention and realize that this truck has 120,000 miles less on the motor than the odometer, okay? And that's gonna matter a lot here to those people who are actually paying attention. To those people who just see the 267 and move on, that's on them, you know? They're bad. But there are gonna be people who notice this nice truck and are gonna be ready with their credit card to make a deposit. Please get your deposit in. You don't wanna go through all this viewing and pictures. There'll be 60 to 80 HD pictures. There'll be a little magnifying glass you can zoom in on with. The title will be in the ad. I've shown you the Carfax for the truck itself and the motor that we put in it. There couldn't possibly be more information than we're giving you. You couldn't get this kind of information in person standing in front of the truck because they wouldn't tell you and they wouldn't know. Okay, so you know everything we know. Last part of this thing is the warranty. There is no warranty. We've given you everything we've got. Okay, at some point you're the owner. Okay, if it breaks the day you get it, you're getting it fixed. We are not going to be writing checks to anybody. That's the truth. Okay, so please realize that. You know, we have to get divorced from this car the minute we sell it, and you have to become the owner the minute you own it. Okay, people who built this truck gave it X amount of miles and X amount of years at Ford for their warranty, and it's way past both of those numbers. Way past, both in years and miles. If they could have given it a 25-year, 500,000 mile warranty, they would have. They didn't because they didn't know what would happen. Okay? If they didn't know and they built it, how in the heck do I know? Therefore, when you buy it and you ship it wherever and you pick it up and it's got something broken, whether it's a radio knob or an injector, you're going to write the check. We're not writing the check. If you don't like that, that's fine. We don't have any cars for you, okay? We don't have a risk-free experience. We reduce the risk as much as possible, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to take your truck and get it fixed. All right? That is all. Thank you very much. A hell of a truck.